Were the Anunnaki just powerful ancient gods, or could they have been something more? For thousands of years, people have looked to the sky for answers. They have wondered about their place in the universe. In ancient Mesopotamia, a powerful group of gods was known as the Anunnaki. Their stories come from the Sumerian people, one of the oldest known civilizations. The Sumerians lived in a land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. This area is now part of modern-day Iraq and Iran. Their civilization thrived from about 4,500 to 1,750 BC. The Sumerians made many amazing advances for their time. They invented the plow, which helped their farming grow. They developed writing, mathematics, and complex cities. In Sumerian beliefs, the Anunnaki were powerful deities. They were seen as the children of the god of the heavens, An, and the goddess of the earth, Kai. The word Anunnaki can be translated as princely seed. However, its exact meaning and the number of these gods are not fully clear from ancient texts. Ancient Sumerians believed the Anunnaki lived among them. They thought these gods came down to earth and interacted with humans. The Anunnaki were often described as judges of human fate. To show their respect, Sumerians built statues of these gods. They dressed the statues, offered them food, and held special ceremonies for them. Ancient carvings show these deities in different ways. Some had wings, suggesting a connection to the sky or powerful speed. Others wore horned caps, a sign of divinity. Some even had bird faces. Interestingly, certain carvings show these figures holding objects that look like modern-day purses. For mainstream historians, these details are part of rich mythology. They represent the Sumerians' way of understanding the world and their gods. These experts see the Anunnaki as purely mythical beings created by humans to explain life, nature, and events. However, in the 20th century, a different idea about the Anunnaki began to gain attention. This is called the ancient alien theory. It suggests that these powerful figures were not just gods, but actual visitors from another planet. A key person in this theory was Zecharia Sitchin. He was an author who lived from 1920 to 2010. Sitchin wrote many books where he proposed that human origins involved ancient astronauts. He said that the ancient Sumerian culture was created by the Anunnaki, who were extraterrestrials. According to Sitchin, these aliens came from a planet called Nibiru. He claimed Nibiru was a 12th planet that orbited the Sun every 3,600 years. Sitchin believed that Sumerian myths described Nibiru as the home of this advanced alien race. He also linked the Anunnaki to the Nephilim mentioned in the biblical book of Genesis. Sitchin's theory goes like this. About 450,000 years ago, the Anunnaki arrived on Earth. They came looking for certain minerals, especially gold. They found and mined this gold in Africa. The Anunnaki workers, however, became tired and unhappy with their hard labor. To solve this problem, one of the Anunnaki leaders, Enki, suggested a plan. He proposed creating primitive workers to take over the mining. Sitchin claimed that ancient texts describe a process of genetic engineering. The Anunnaki combined their own advanced genes with those of early humans, called Homo erectus. This created Homo sapiens, or modern humans, to be their slaves. Their purpose was to mine gold for their alien masters. Sitchin argued that human civilization in Sumer was set up under the guidance of these alien gods. He believed that kingship was put in place to create a link between humans and the Anunnaki. This is where the idea of the divine right of kings came from, meaning kings ruled with the god's blessing. Sitchin also pointed to ancient carvings and texts that he interpreted as evidence of these aliens and their advanced technology, such as flying machines. Sitchin's books sold millions of copies and were translated into many languages. His ideas caught the imagination of many people. He even proposed a real-world test for his theories. He suggested that scientists could test the 4,500-year-old remains of a Sumerian woman, Queen Puabi. Sitchin believed her DNA might hold proof of the Anunnaki's genetic influence. He saw her as a nin, a Sumerian term he interpreted as meaning goddess or demigod related to the visitors from Nibiru. He thought ancient myths hinted that the Anunnaki held back the secret of long life or immortality from humans. However, most mainstream researchers and historians do not agree with Sitchin's ideas. They argue that he and others who support the ancient alien theory have mistranslated or misunderstood ancient Sumerian texts. Scholars say that Sitchin's interpretations are not based on proper linguistic or historical methods. For example, what Sitchin called flying machines in ancient texts might simply be mistranslations or poetic language. The advanced abilities of the Sumerians, like their inventions, are explained by their own human ingenuity and cultural development, not by alien teachers. Academics point out that the Sumerian depictions of gods with wings, horned caps, or bird faces are common symbolic images in ancient cultures. They represent power, divinity, or specific aspects of the gods, not literal physical traits of aliens. The modern-day lady's purse, seen in carvings, is also interpreted by scholars as a ritual object, a container for holy items, or a symbolic representation, not a literal accessory. Scholars like Michael Heiser have strongly criticized Sitchin's work. They call him a pseudo-historian because his theories lack support from academic research. They argue that the stories of God's passing judgment are myths that help societies understand good and evil, natural events, and the roles of leaders. They are not historical reports of extraterrestrial rulers. For these experts, the Anunnaki remain powerful, fascinating figures within the rich tapestry of ancient human mythology. The story of the Anunnaki remains a mystery with two very different explanations. On one side, we have the traditional view of powerful mythical gods from ancient Mesopotamia. On the other, we find the compelling idea of advanced extraterrestrials who visited Earth and influenced human history. Whether we see them as divine beings or architects from the stars, the Anunnaki continue to challenge our understanding of the past and our place in the vast universe.